everybody, Steve Rosenbaum here. Welcome to Tuesday Sales Training. How's everybody doing today? You could join me live. There's a link. I put it in the chat, zoom.us/my/coaches. All right. Hey, here's Jenna. All right. All right. Welcome, Jenna. All right. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. And Jenna, or anybody that joins us live, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to take them afterwards. I'm glad you're here. Now, I'm not going to be able to monitor the chat too well because I'm going to be looking at both screens here with some of the parts from my presentation, but I will stay at the end and answer any questions, either for the people that join me live or put it in the Facebook chat. I'll take a look there. My name is Steve Rosenbaum. We have been talking about the 12-month client blueprint, and today is part 4. So if you missed any of the previous 3 sessions, I'm sure you can find them in the Extendly group. But I'll have a brief review today, and then we'll wind it up with today with part 4, where we're going to cover months 10, 11, and 12. So let me get my slides ready here. I'll start them up. I'll share my screen, and we'll get going. All right. All right. Let me just find the share button here. It's hiding behind my microphone. Beautiful. There we go. And my screen should be showing. All right, everybody. As I said, today we're going to talk about the 12-month client blueprint. We're going to wrap it up. So let's jump right into this and let's talk about the final 3 months of your first year working with a client. All right. So starting with month 10, then we'll talk about 11 and 12. But the bottom line is this is the culmination of your first year. Now, we started off with the first 3 months, did some things to get off to some quick success. In the second 3 months, we took that success to a new level. The third success, we continue, the third 3 months, we continued building. Now we're wrapping up the first year. So first of all, we want to keep an eye on the future. We've got a strong foundation in place. We're building this pyramid. We've got the strong foundation in place right now. That's what we did for the first several months. Hey, let me let Rob in. All right, Rob, you should be in now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I will circle back and take any questions at the end today for the chats. I'm glad you're here. So looking towards the future, how can we build on this foundation? Now that this foundation is in place, we can scale. Now we can profit and take the profits to the newest level. We're going to keep growing in several ways that we'll talk about. We're also going to refine the things that we built. Make sure that, if we could make them even stronger, we'll make them stronger. And then how do we expand from there? And finally, let's plan for the next year, right? We're going to keep these clients a long, long time. Now, I promise you one thing. When you have a system like Go High Level and you get your customers and your clients using it, they're going to be your clients for a long time because this becomes part of their DNA. This becomes everything managing their client relationship. They're not going to break it. They're not going to want to, stop it. I've been building systems like this for many years. Long before High Level, I've been building these types of systems for clients. I've got one client I've had for 13 years. And he says to me, I couldn't fire you if I want to. It's one of the reasons I say my job is to make you unfireable. I have trouble with that word. Unfireable. You can't be fired, right? All right. So that's my job, to make you unfireable. And you will be if you get them using the system. That's why we start small, we show them success, and we keep expanding that success. That's what it's all about. So let's continue here. Well, what happened here? I think I duplicated a slide. So let's talk about how do we refine. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to optimize. Now we've got a foundation and it's built. One of the beautiful things about the way we build these systems, we can measure everything. I encourage you to use a lot of tags. When I build out a system, I basically place a tag at every step of that system. What do I mean? What do I mean by step? Let's say that they enter an automation. Well, I'll create a tag that says that they entered the automation. And if they finish the automation, the last thing we'll do is we'll set a tag that says they finished the automation. Anytime they take a step along that customer timeline, we're going to put tags. Now, the reason we do this is because then we can see and we can measure their progress. At any time, we can look at a certain step in the process and find out who's there, how long they've been there, did they get stuck there? We can look at cumulative numbers at each step. This way we can find where are the weakest links. And those are the links that we're going to optimize. That's part of the refinement, right? It's very easy to see, if we've got, let's say, a 4-step process, maybe it begins with, hey, we send out an email and we ask them to claim a coupon. And then we ask them to schedule an appointment, and then we want them to show up for the appointment. Those are the 4 steps, right? Well, it's very easy to see where's the backlog. For instance, what tends to happen sometimes is a lot of people, they get the email, they open the email, they go to the form, they fill out the form, they get the coupon, but they don't make the next step, which is getting the appointment. So we look at that, we say, man, we got a big log jam at that step where they claimed the coupon, but they didn't take the next step, which was scheduling an appointment. Are you following me? Are you picturing this in your mind? Now we know that we've got that log jam there. This is how we optimize it. This is how we refine it. We say, what can we do to make it easier for them to schedule an appointment? Or maybe, can we send them out a reminder for them to schedule that appointment? These are all things that we can do to refine the system, to optimize the system, because each little tweak that we make is going to lead towards better results. The beautiful thing about building processes like this and measuring each step, you can find that weak link, you can optimize it, you can fix it, and that's an easy way to get new results, get better results, I should say. In doing that, here's what we're trying to do. We are trying to maximize the lifetime value of the customer. What does that mean? What does it mean when we say we want to maximize the lifetime value of a customer? That means we want repeat sales. That means customer retention. I focus on customer retention. This is my bias in sales, right? My company's called Flawless Follow-Up. I like to follow up. I like to bring customers back to buy over and over again, maximize the LTV. When I do this, I'm pointing to my screen. That's where it says maximize LTV in front of me, right? Maximize the LTV, lifetime value, of each and every customer. That's the fastest way to get sales. It's the best way to optimize business. Your clients are going to love you. And then if they do spend money on advertising, that means you're going to get them the best ROI on their ad spend. All right, now, what's next? Improving the infrastructure. The infrastructure is that foundation. What is an infrastructure? Maybe it's a funnel. Maybe it's a landing page. Maybe it's email follow-ups. So what does it mean to improve the infrastructure? Well, it is part of that optimizing, okay? It is, if we find out that maybe one of our funnel pages isn't converting as well as it can, what can we do? Can we test out some new subject lines, some new headlines? Can we do a split test? Maybe we've got a video. Is the video working? Are people watching the video? Are they staying to the end of the video? Is the video too long? Is it too short? Can it be improved? All right, these are all parts of the infrastructure. The infrastructure are more of the pieces in place. Update content. Content needs to be updated. We all have this idea that building these systems is set it and forget it, but it's just not true. Things change. So take a look at your content. How can it be updated each and every year? And eliminate waste. Do we have too many steps? Are we making things too complicated? Are some of our emails just not getting open? If they're just not getting open, if people don't like them and they're just not interested in the subject, let's just delete it, okay? Let's just delete it. We'll have other emails that we could use instead. So those are all ways that we could refine the system. We're optimizing, we're fine-tuning it, we got a finely tuned machine now, right? So now that we've got that machine in place, what do we want to do? We want to expand. We want to grow it out. This is where scale happens. All right, so how do we do that? Number one, we can always add new features. Now, by this time, all right, you may have your customer, your client using all the features in high level. Maybe not. There's so many that maybe there's some more they're not using. For instance, text to pay, right? That's one that often gets overlooked. What a great, great system. So text to pay is great for somebody, maybe they do events, like I've got one of my clients is a cigar manufacturer, and he sends out rollers to events. They go to weddings, they go to parties, and they have a cigar roller rolling cigars at the party. Sometimes people say, hey, I'd like to buy some extra cigars. Can you sell them to me? Well, we can do that now with the text to pay feature, right? A cigar roller who's away from the office, away from everything else, he could just send a text message with the text to pay feature and sell those cigars. And the cigar sales get tracked, they get in the system, sales tax gets added if it needs to be, everything gets reported, everything can be integrated to QuickBooks. It's such a big advantage for my cigar retailer, right? So this is an important thing, that there's probably even more features that the client isn't using yet. And I'll bet you by the time this year is up, High Level is going to have even more features. They're great at adding more and more features. Of course, there's also some third-party vendors, right? There's people like Extendly that are offering some products and services. There's some other third-party vendors. And then maybe you do some other things. Maybe you do video editing. Maybe you do, I don't know, reputation management, some other things above and beyond High Level. Of course, you could be introducing those features. So, and services, I should say. So new features in the software, new services that you provide, new integrations. There's new integrations being added all the time. And of course, with Zapier and webhooks, you could do just about anything. So I just today, I bought something on AppSumo, if you're familiar with AppSumo, but it's a program for list building, and it's for giveaways and sweepstakes. And with a webhook, somebody could play the sweepstakes, they could enter it, and that email is going to go from that program through the integration, through a webhook, into a back-end funnel, a back-end workflow that I designed. So I'm capturing the lead, getting on my list, and following up, because people love games. They love things like that. So I get a lot of stuff from AppSumo. If you're not familiar with it, they've got some great stuff. And if it's got a way to integrate with a webhook or with Zapier, you can bring that stuff right into High Level. Very cool stuff. And that's going to help us grow the list. Where I've had the most success for my clients over the years, and by the way, let me back up and let me say that what I'm about to tell you, I think is one of the most important keys to your success and your client's success, is this: growing the list. Growing the list. What do I mean by that? I mean email list. I mean text messaging list. If you're connecting clients through social media, through the chat widget, through the Facebook IM chat, or Instagram or TikTok, those are all ways that we can grow the list. You want to do that because know this about all these social media platforms. On the social media platforms, you don't own anything. Your email list, you own, you control. What I suggest you do, by the way, is back that up regularly from your High Level account, or whatever service you're using. Back up that list regularly, because that is money. That is literally money in the bank. And if something were to happen, you always have your list. Grow that list for your clients. Keep it safe, keep it back up, but know that that's the most important thing. When COVID hit a few years ago, and none of us could have expected it, none of us ever expected a situation where we'd have a lockdown the way that we had, right? Many businesses went out of business. They didn't have a list. They didn't have a way to communicate, right? They couldn't communicate because people weren't coming into their places of business, and they didn't have the contact list to communicate. Lots of businesses were talking about pivoting. They're going to change their business. But the problem was they had no way to communicate to their clientele that they were pivoting. Now, my clients all had a list. One of my clients actually called me and thanked me, told me I saved his business because he had this big list, and now he was able to pivot. And so when he called, he said, look, you can't go shop at any of my competitors, but I am able to ship things to you. And so through email, we grew his business. April and May of 2020, when most businesses were locked down, many businesses were going out of business, he celebrated some of his biggest and most profitable months ever. Not that he's celebrating COVID, but he was well prepared, and it was because he had his list. When you have a list, you can control your sales. If things aren't going well, send out an email, send out a message. You'll be amazed. You're going to get a response. Grow your list. That's the best way to help them expand. So how can we do that? How can we do that? Number one, grow your list any way you can think of to get more traffic. I told you about sweepstakes. They're great. We love sweepstakes. We love games. We love sweepstakes as long as we're capturing the list. All right. You could do it through networking. Your client can do it through networking. I myself, I love to network. I belong to a BNI club. I belong to Chamber of Commerce. I love to go there. I love to network. Make sure that when you do that, you don't just get business cards, but you get them on your list and you follow up with them immediately, and you follow up with them consistently, and you follow up with them forever. That's what we do at Flawless Follow-Up. All right. You could use paid ads. Here comes Nick. Let's let Nick in. Welcome, Nick. You could use paid ads. You could do JV partnerships. What does a JV partnership look like? Well, I'll go back to, again, I'll use my cigar client just because he's always doing so much stuff. The one thing I love about him, Nick, how are you? Keep your eyes on the road, my friend. All right. So one thing, what I mean by JV partnerships, my cigar client, and he's always asking me, what else can we do? He's an ideal client because, as I've been saying the past several weeks, success breeds more success. Whenever we have success from him, he says, man, that is awesome. What can we do next? Always wants to take it to the next level. So for him, he's a cigar retailer. So who can we partner with? We can partner with restaurants. We can partner with, I live in Austin, Texas. There's several boutique breweries and even liquor and vodka distilleries and things. And we've partnered with some of those, and they love it because they go hand in hand. And we do a JV partnership, then we get to leverage our customers and combine them with each other. We complement each other well, and it's a win-win situation. So this is a great way to grow your business. Find somebody that complements that service. If you've got a client that's a plumber, then why not connect them with other home services? Why not connect them? Why not do a JV partnership with electricians and roofers and things like that? You can help all your clients by doing that. By the way, many of them will even refer you to friends of theirs because lots of people, they've got friends in the business, and they'll say, look, I've got a friend. The electrician might say, I've got a friend who's a plumber. Can we do something together? And now you are going to be getting a new client out of that. So that's a great way to not only grow their list, but also expand your business. And then, of course, you can always grow your list on social media. The one thing that I always watch out for in social media, what I mean watch out for, the question I'm always asking is, when I get somebody's attention on social media, how do I immediately capture them onto my list? Social media is great for getting eyeballs, but you can't take eyeballs to the bank, okay? You have to meet them on social media. When I say capture the home field advantage, that means get them on your list, follow up with them quickly, follow up with them forever. Hey, Nick, where are you?
I'm in Weatherford, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area.
No kidding. I'm not too far away from you. I'm down in Austin.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And I know Weatherford very well. Excellent. What do you do up there?
Well, I am traditionally, I started off doing gymnastics and cheerleading coaching. And cool. I actually left that business in 2016, sold it. And I've been doing real estate, house flipping, so construction, and basically just marketing my own business. And so nice. Now I'm into actually marketing. I was thinking about this platform for my own business, and then I thought, hey, this is a great platform. I should just sell this platform. This is awesome. And so I have a side venture that I'm doing using Go High Level, but I'm actually getting into the SaaS and software as a service, and that's where I'm going right now, full speed ahead.
Good for you. You're in the right place, and obviously you're part of the Extendly group as well, right?
Yes.
You're in good shape. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. You're in the right place. I'm Steve Rosenbaum. Tag me in the group. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
I'm just getting started, and so I need every tip and trick I can get because I want to get this thing in the black. I don't want to be losing money. I want to start making money as soon as possible. And so I'm guns firing, and I'm going. I'm ready.
Well, you're in the right place. Go back and check out a lot of these coaching sessions, not just myself. We got a great roster of coaches here, real experts in every different way. And so I'm just so glad you're here. You're in the right place. Reach out to us at any time if we could help.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. Let me wrap it up here, okay? All right. Now, oh boy, I did a terrible job of my slides today. This is another repeat from last week. So 1 second here. So to wrap it up, when you are working with clients, like Nick is going to get in the business of doing that, this is what we've been sharing for the past several weeks. And I just wanted to do this as a reminder, okay? Each and every time you meet with a client, you want to have a meeting and you want to cover these things. And I would suggest doing this at least monthly. These monthly meetings are important because this is where you keep your communication on track. Your relationship with your client, their success is all going to be a function of your communication. So if you've got a regular meeting and you go over these things, you're going to be in great shape and you're going to keep them growing. They're going to be thrilled with you. This is how I've kept clients for 13 years plus. So first of all, review the past month. And you review it versus expectations. Now that's important because to review it versus the expectations, that means that last month you had to set some expectations. So each and every month we are going to set expectations so the customer knows. Many times, believe it or not, a customer does not know what success looks like. They think the only thing that success looks like is the money that goes to the bank, which is important. But actually success happens much before the money going to the bank. Success happens by growing our list. Success happens by getting opens and clicks on our emails and getting people to fill out forms and take action, and all the things that we do that we can measure, we can show them those things. And when you set their expectations, when they see, hey, you know what, the first sign of success is the conversation manager is lighting up. People are sending us messages. People are responding. That's the first sign of success. And you want to show them that because they're going to see that sometimes within seconds of you starting something. They're going to say, wow, I've never seen this before. That's the impact that you could have, and it could be that quick. So ask them also to put a dollar figure on their success. You don't want to do this. You want to ask them for that. What have they achieved so far? What has it meant for their business? What has it meant for them personally? Now for their business, maybe it meant they could go out and hire some new people, expand their staff, which maybe means they've been able to take some of the workload off of themselves. So what does it mean for them personally? Maybe it means they're getting, more time with their family. Maybe they were able to take a trip. Maybe they're able to take a vacation. Maybe they made money and bought a boat. Get them to tell you about these things, because getting them to tell you about these things, they're going to internalize it. And they're going to recognize, you know what? My clients say to me, Steve, you know what? You have helped my business so much. You have grown my business so much. They've invited me to the Christmas parties and literally introduced me to their entire staff and said, we're having this Christmas party because of our growth, because of me, Steve. Okay. And that's humbling, but it's very rewarding. But it also is how they internalize that and they keep you for a long, long time because of it. All right, now each month, how are we going to improve? We can measure everything, and because we can measure it, we can improve it. Nobody is expecting perfection. Understand that. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's expecting perfection. So you'll find areas you can improve. Many business owners will tell you, they don't have enough information. They don't have enough stats. They don't have good enough reporting to make intelligent decisions. So they manage by gut instinct. All right. And they don't like that. You, on the other hand, will be able to give them reports. Remember when I said we measure everything, we tag things, you'll be able to tell them when we did this, we got this many people to respond. But when we did that, we got even more people to respond. Now, a business owner is going to say, you know what? Let's do more of that and less of that, because that's an intelligent decision. And he's going to be very thankful, very grateful to you because you had those statistics to give him. That's what we do differently than other people. And you could do that within high level as long as you're building these systems with good, they're well thought out. Like the Extendly business snapshot is fantastic for this. You're setting tags, you're measuring these things, the things that we're going to start building that you're going to hear more about. All of this is built right in so that you look like the expert that you are. Always plan the next 8 to 12 weeks in the future. The death of a relationship between a client and an agency is silence. If they don't know what you're working on, they assume you're not working. So make sure they always know what you're working on. Always be working 8 to 12 weeks in advance. Ask them about milestones for their business. Know when is their anniversary? When are their important dates? When are their best holidays? What events do they have coming up? Plan for those in advance. I'm making this right now. What's today? May 20-something, 23rd, I think, right? Well, we just had Mother's Day. Father's Day is going to be upon us before we know it. It's probably too late to start about Father's Day. Maybe we should be talking about July 4th. Maybe we should even be looking towards back to school in August. Always be planning 8 to 12 weeks ahead. Go on the internet and look at the events and holidays for each and every month, and always be planning for those. There, it's right there. Set expectations for the coming weeks, the coming months, and always, each and every time, ask them for a new review, ask them for a new testimonial, and ask them for new referrals. That's how you're going to keep yourself growing. That word of mouth, those referrals, they are the best in the world. All right, so that wraps up the fourth part, months 10, 11, and 12, right, of our four-part 12-month series. So let's just go back and review the first parts if you haven't seen them. All right, the first 3 months, months 1 through 3, are all about starting small and having fast success. I literally start not by showing them the whole system. You don't want to show them the whole system. It's going to confuse them. It's going to overwhelm them. It's going to intimidate them. And they may not buy from you. And if they do, they may get lost before you even get started. We start with something very, very small. We might say, hey, let me take 200 of your contacts and let's send out a quick text message and get a quick response and get people in your store buying stuff. And when you do that, you see an instant response in the conversation manager. They love it. And they say, okay, now that you did it for 200 people, here's 1,000 more people. That's what we want to do. We want to get success and grow from there. So we start small. In the SaaS configurator, it might look like this. We just give them the very basic stuff that comes on level 1. And then once we have success, in months 4 through 6, we start parlaying that success. We want to let it ride. So we graduate them to level 2 of the SaaS configurator. By the way, you should tell them that. You should lay out a 12-month plan for them and say, this is a strategy. We're going to start you small. In fact, we're going to start you on level 1, which is the least expensive level, whatever you charge for that. And say, but know this, as you grow and as you become more successful, you're going to want to introduce more and more features, and the price will go up, but you'll already be making enough money to pay for it several times over. You'll always have a positive ROI once we get the ball rolling. They will appreciate you for that. And you can guarantee that. You can guarantee that, because if it doesn't work, then, give them another month of service or something like that. Certainly, you've got room within the system to do that. So you can say, look, we guarantee you're going to make success. As long as you do the things we tell you to do, there has to be a performance clause in there. They can't just not do anything and then expect success, but you're going to help them through that. And you're going to guide them through that. So you're parlaying success in months 4 through 6. All right. And then you could start adding new features from level 2. You could also add, some of these services over here I'm showing on the right side from your conversation manager, or sending out review requests for them, run a reactivation campaign to bring customers back, missed call text back, referrals, which is like a tell a friend or a web chat widget, and even CRM opportunities in the pipeline. Those are months 4 through 6. We get to months 7 through 9, and we start scaling their business. We start taking them to the next level. Now they're up to level 3. Now you're getting a nice monthly recurring income from them. You could automate some of the things that they're having, always add more traffic, and just keep focusing on expanding and growing their business. And think about this. Can you introduce a subscription model into their business? Some sort of a membership where you can get a guaranteed recurring income. With my cigar client, we introduced a VIP club. And we also introduced a recurring order, a monthly order. Say, okay, pick out your favorite cigars, put in a recurring order for us, and we'll give you a special price. But now he knows that he begins each and every month with a certain level of sales. He never had this before, but we could do this by introducing subscriptions. And you could do that for just about any type of business, as long as you might need to think a little creatively about that. And then we could always add more features. All right, well, there you go. We have finished the entire 12-month blueprint. Over the past 4 sessions, we have showed you how to get a client. We've showed you how to get fast success for them so they get excited. They want to grow with you. Take that success, parlay it into even more success, then expand the business more in the last 6 months of the year. Now you're well positioned. You've got a full successful year. You've got a great relationship with your client, and here's to 12 more successful years. Like I've got clients 13 years and more. I want the same for you. I want to make you unfireable. You can't be fired. All right. That's all I have for you today. Nick, you're there, so I'll ask you any questions, my friend.
Oh man, I would like to see those other presentations.
They're there in the Extendly group. They're there. You can find them in the videos.
In the Facebook group?
In the Facebook group. Yeah, in the Facebook group. So absolutely, they are there, and yeah, we keep them there for you. So go back and find them, and you'll find other training from the other people as well. I've been doing this a long time, Nick, long before High Level. My company is called Flawless Follow-Up. That's my SaaS agency with High Level, but I've been running Flawless Follow-Up for many years. I love High Level because of the way everything is integrated into one package. Our data is integrated with our with all the tools that we use, and we can replicate things. So when you build out these great systems, you can scale. You can go and get more SaaS clients and roll it out with snapshots and so forth. And Extendly does a great job with the snapshots. Extendly also does a great job with their outsourcing their tech support. That's something I would strongly recommend as you grow your client business. Make sure that you're outsourcing your tech support. So one of the first things I did, that's how I got tied in with Extendly, was I was one of their clients. So yeah, but you're with great people. You're in a great place with a great platform. So yeah, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm really so I just sold my first one the other day, and what I did was I went door knocking. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy. I was like, I can't believe I sold it. But I went to the gym, and then after the gym, I just said, you know what? I'm going to hit up everybody in this shopping strip center, right? And so I went to 5 different businesses, and one of them said, hey, why don't you come back in the morning? Let's talk around 9 o'clock. So I came back in the morning and started selling her. And she said, hey, I really thought that was going to be like a hardcore sales meeting, right? And so I was really kind of nervous. I didn't really want to do it. She goes, but that wasn't very salesy at all. And so she bought it. She was like, she said just the other day, I was talking to somebody. She didn't even have a website. She said, I was talking to someone about doing a website, and they wanted to charge me $4,000. And I said, you see these templates here? I'll give you one for free.
There you go.
Yeah, like what are we gonna do to get you in? And so I'm excited to help her get her business, get her website going. That's really sticky. So once you have the website there, and then I like what you said in this video about each month introducing something new. Give her something new, and so I guess my real question would be like, how's the fastest way to get going, 10, 20 clients, what's the fastest way? I watched Alex's video where he's like, man, I just messengered people, for the first month and a half and got 37 signups, right? And I'm going, well, I could do that too, just message people. But what do you recommend? What's your take on it? Should I do door knocking? Should I just go to all the businesses in little town of Weatherford before I start going to Fort Worth? Or what are your thoughts on that? And then, I have my son and his cousin, and my son's 17 and his cousin, he's 20, and they're like, hey, we want to sell it, and so I'm just trying to think, how do we get us going, get them going, get me going, the fastest way to have an impact to get conversions, get people buying.
Well, I love your question, and you probably see that I got this big grin on my face because you're going to love. I have to tease you a little bit here, Nick, and just tell you that we are about 2 weeks away from announcing something that you're just going to be ecstatic over. All right, but I'll preview it by saying this. I've been doing this a long time, and you'll if it's not already on the Extendly website, there's going to be soon a new section called Sales Engine. And that's a new business that is being started that we'll tell you more about that, but I'm actually be a part of it. Extendly is going to be a part of it. because I've got many years of success in this space and helping people accomplish exactly what you're talking about. But there's something that has to happen first before any of that, before any of what you're talking about, whether it's door knocking or messaging or whatever it is. The first thing you have to have is a killer offer, okay? And here's what I'll say to you. And by the way, I know this stuff, and I made a mistake when I first got my SaaS agency, and I got so excited about it. And the big mistake I made, and when you go back and you watch these 3 past videos, I drill it home. Don't try to sell the whole thing. Sell the result, sell a specific result. Now, I'll tell you that one of the things that I've always had success with, I've been doing this for years. You'll hear a lot of people talking about reactivation within the high level community. Are you familiar with that term?
No, what is reactivation?
It's bringing customers back to buy again. All right. Now I've been doing.
They quit and bringing them back again?
Pardon me?
They quit and then bringing them back again, or
sure? Like if you're talking about a gym's a perfect one. And I've got an example, and I showed something. I showed a video in one of those first 3 videos where I did that with a gym, and we got his first yes in 42 seconds. 42 seconds. And what we did was he had people that had quit. We got them. We sent out a text message. And we said, hey, we've done some new things to the gym. We'd love to give you a 7-day pass to get you coming back. Would you like one?
Reactivation. I get you.
Okay. 42 seconds, he got his first yes. Within the first 10 minutes, he had more than 12 yeses. All right. So now one of the reasons that's so fast, because think about it. You're talking about door knocking and stuff like that. These people don't know you yet, right? And when you do that, a lot of times, a lot of people, they want to think about trying to go out and get new business. I have always found it to be a whole lot easier to get past customers that we haven't heard from to come back and buy from us again. Think about it. Those people, the businesses, they know their past customers are already connected. Maybe they've got their email address. Maybe they've got their phone number. All right. If not, maybe they got their physical address. We could send out postcards. But if we reach back out, we say, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. We'd like you to come back and you know, we'd like to see you again. And maybe even offer them a special offer. Many of them are going to say yes, and many are going to say yes very, very quickly. So if we do a reactivation campaign and we do it with a text message, then we get them very, very quickly. You mentioned you were working out at the gym. You could say that. That's a great thing to talk to your gym owner about. Hey,
Nice.
what do you think if we reach out to some of your people that you haven't seen in several months, or maybe you know it's May already, so people have probably given up for the year. You know, January everybody had the best intentions. It's already May, and you probably have a lot of people that quit. What if we reach them back out to them and try to get them back in? So now you're not talking about this big giant system. You're talking about what's important to them, getting more people into their gym. And it's a much easier conversation to have. And it's also easy to get success because you're sending text messages out to people you already know. They're going to start seeing responses in the conversation manager like that. So
you tell them, they say yes. They say, yeah, that'd be great. Okay, well, let's get you signed up, you know, with the second tier, you know, or you go straight for the
I start with the first tier. Okay.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. Keep the price down. You know, try to put as few barriers as possible. And a barrier is not only the price, the barrier is the complexity of the system. So if you focus on the first tier only, you're going to keep the price down, and they're only going to have this much of the system. That works to your advantage. I want you to go back and watch the 3 videos from the first, and by the way, there's even more for me. I've probably done 8 or 9 videos with Extendly. Go back and watch them, and you'll see exactly how I do this. And you'll see I point out several other advantages to doing it this way. You're going to love those videos, and it's going to help you. Now, when that happens, you can go do the things you're talking about, whether it's door knocking or whatever, but you're going to go there with something very specific to say, an offer. Okay. Hey, for $99, I'm going to bring back people into your business. How does that sound? Well, sure, I'll do that. Notice what am I not talking about there, Nick?
Yeah. You're not talking about getting them on a membership or signing them up or any of the software. You're just saying
software. Hey, that's right. I'm not talking about the software. What happens as soon as you tell people you got software, what do they want? They want a demo. Okay. Now you're starting to lengthen out the sales process. Now you got to schedule a demo. Now you got to have a demo. Now you got to think about it. Okay.
Yeah, you're so right. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, you're so right. And
Yeah.
that's time consuming. I mean,
It is. Okay. And you're adding steps to the complexity of the sale. Well, you ask a business owner, hey, do you want more people come back to your business? How long do they have to think about that?
Yeah, 2 seconds versus
2 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, is it worth $99? And by the way, if it doesn't work,
exactly.
yeah. By the way, if it doesn't work, I'll do another month for you for free. So so go back and watch those videos. You'll see exactly how I do this. That's your killer offer, Nick. Get your killer offer, then send your son out and have them sign them up.
Man, I like that. Yeah,
you
that's
like that?
great. That's a great angle. That's a great angle. And it's so simple. I mean, because I'm a strategy, expert. It's like that's what I do is I'm a chief strategy officer, it's like that's what I am, right? It's like I'm getting to complicated stuff when we just really got to keep it simple for them because when you go into strategy and all that stuff, people just they shut down. It's like,
yeah,
man, that's
you do have to keep it simple. And business owners, they want to focus on their business. Here's some things I've learned over the many years that I've been doing this. Business owners, they first of all, business owners, a lot of them don't like talking about software. Many of them are not real good at tech and they get intimidated by it. A lot of them don't like the term marketing. People go out and they say, hey, I want to help you with your marketing. Business owners, to them, marketing is a lot like going to the dentist for a lot of people. I mean, they just hate it. Hey, Jenna's got her hand up. I'd like to answer a question from her. So hang on one second, Nick.
Sure.
Hey, Jenna, how can I help you?
Hey, I absolutely love your 12-month work. Like, I've never heard anybody explain that before that way. And I love the way you explained it, first of all.
Oh, thank you. Jenna, you broke up a little bit. I'm sorry, which part did you love?
The 12-month client blueprint. Love that. Like, I'm going to think about that extensively tonight.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you.
It just makes it so simple and so easy, and it makes it easy for me to implement, I guess. But I guess I have one question for you. Like, so doing something as simple as missed call text back as like month one, okay, $97 a month, great. But I think one thing I get wrapped up on, and I think one place I lose people is like the Twilio cost for budgeting purposes. For for people I'm talking to,
yeah,
like they want to know how much to expect to spend. And I think that's hard for me to relay.
All right. That's a fair question. Okay. So there's a couple ways you could do it. Now, frankly, I don't run into that too much. So,
and it's probably the way I'm saying it or presenting it. So that's, I guess,
that's what I'd like you to, the reality is, if you're starting with a business that doesn't even have much of a list, it's going to be negligible. I tell them, hey, it works like a toll pass. You could put 10 or 20 bucks in and there's credits, emails are a fraction of a penny and the text messages are a couple pennies each. So 10 or 20 bucks goes a long way. All right. And literally that's all I say. And a lot of times that's enough. All right. Now, so I don't know if that's the case with your clients. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but that's literally how I don't go into the details too much. On my page, I did make a little graphic. The SaaS configurator tells you $10 gets you this many emails. It's hey, buddy, you got a little one there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So on my sales page, I do put a little asterisk and I do say, and you know what I'm talking about with the SaaS configurator?
Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah.
So I made a little graphic out of that, and you got to clip some of it. You don't want to show them everything there. You certainly don't want to show them your profit, right?
Right.
All right. So you want to cut that out, but you make a little graphic, and then you just show them, look, when they see that we're talking about emails are fractions of a penny and text messages are a couple pennies, and they see that, you can say, look, you're going to get a lot out of 10 or 20 bucks. And if you don't have much of a list, that 10 or 20 bucks is going to go a long way. And if you do have a list, you're still going to be making money each and every time. You're talking about, you make a sale. you make a $20, a $50, a $100 sale, and the text messages cost you a couple bucks, you know, what's the ROI on that? It's very, very high, right?
Right. No, for sure. Yeah. And I have like a missed call text back calculator that I'm starting to use that I just got from Alex.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just been having that lately. Like people are like, okay, well, how much for when somebody calls me, how much is it going to cost? Because, you know, their VoIP phones are just a flat monthly rate, unlimited.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of lose them at that point. They're like, oh, well, this sounds like it's going to cost me a lot because of.
Well,
I mostly work, and as a background, I mostly work with home service providers.
okay.
And I have a couple realtors that I work with and a couple loan originators.
Well, I shared with you how I do that. You might want to give that a try. Now, look, there are some people that don't even charge them, and I'm not recommending that. I do charge them.
No,
all right?
yeah, I'm not going to.
Well, you know, you can
I mean, I'm not going to give it away for free. Is what I mean.
Yeah. Do you give them a credit at all every month?
I haven't yet.
So you could, you know, if they're more focused on that, then you could bump your price up a little bit and include some of it as a message credit. Okay. So what I love about the way the flexibility of the SaaS configurator is, if you find you're running into trouble with that, and maybe they would pay you another $20 per month if they knew it was a controlled cost. You know, what are they afraid of? They're afraid of the unknown because it's a variable versus a fixed?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, then you could go ahead and calculate what typical messages might look like and raise your price by $20 a month, and maybe they'll be just as happy with that because it's fixed. Does that make sense? So
yeah, that does make sense. Raise my price $20 and then just include $20 free credit per month.
Exactly. All right. So, you know, those are some options.
I like that idea.
Yeah, those are some options. You got a lot of flexibility. But my gut feeling tells me that maybe something in your presentation is drawing a little more attention to it than needs to be there, because the reality is the costs will be so negligible when businesses are using it and using it successfully. They're not going to bat an eye, because even if it goes up to, you know, $50 or $60 or more, but they're making several $1,000s, they're not going to care.
Right.
Right. So some of my clients are messaging costs. They may be a lot more now, because some of my clients have 25,000 people on their list. And so their messaging costs might be $100, but they know that they're making $10,000 a month in the system. So, you know, what's the ROI? You're making $10,000 on a $100 messaging cost. They don't care about the $100. Right.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I think those are some good places to start, Jenna, and see what happens from there. Was that
that makes a lot of sense.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that helps a lot. I'll try doing that, just raising the price on it and then saying like there's this amount included for the month.
Beautiful. So obviously you're a SaaS agency.
Yes.
Great. And where are you located?
I didn't start that way. I'm right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky in southern Indiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Excellent. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the Chicago area.
Do you say Chicago?
Well, I'm from Chicago. I live in Texas now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, welcome. So glad you're here. And are you using Extendly's outsource services?
I tried it for a little bit, but their onboarding services were 3 weeks out.
I think they're working on that. I think they've got that.
Yes, Dion told me that.
Yeah.
So I switched only because of that, and I keep bugging Dion and asking if it's getting better. So once that issue gets switched over, I'll probably come back on.
Excellent. And then I teased Nick a little bit, and you heard it too, but Bayant and I are working on something else that you'll hear about that in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be very exciting.
I want to hear about it now.
Yeah, I know you do. But you know, I got to tease you a little bit. I'm a marketer.
Open loop.
Open loop. That's exactly right. Now we're putting in fact, I have a meeting with Bayant in about an hour we're about 2 weeks away from this, but you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And I couldn't be more excited.
That's exciting. Congrats.
Thank you.
Are y'all going to produce leads for us?
Oh, hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. Yeah. No, I'm going to close deals for you. I think that's even better, don't you?
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. I'll say this is my marketing team right here.
It's funny you say that. That's what we are going to be, your marketing team, in a lot of respect, in a lot of ways. So in a lot of ways. So you'll see. It's we're one of the reasons I fell in love with High Level was because of our ability. I've been building successful systems for a long, long time, but I always had to start from scratch, and it was always a lot of work, and I always had to charge a lot of money. But now, because of our ability to leverage a lot of stuff within High Level, we could pass on a lot of efficiencies to small businesses, meaning that we could do the stuff that I used to get paid a lot of money from a lot of big companies to do stuff for. Now we can bring it to more people and pass along efficiencies and bring the cost way, 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 way down. So, one of my first clients was 3M, the big company 3M, and they wrote me a check for $35,000 for my first month just to get started, because they had the budget to do that. And it required that in those days to do what we're doing today with High Level. So now I can bring these type of successful systems to all businesses of all types, and we could drive the cost way, 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 way down, way down. So you're going to like it. You're going to like it. And we're doing it.
So are you going to be doing that with Extendly or with Go High Level?
With Extendly. It's with Extendly. I got to check myself a little bit here that I can't say too much more about exactly what it is, but it's with Bayant is the owner of Extendly. It's with Bayant, and it will be part of Extendly, not with High Level.
Awesome.
It will work. It's built for people that use High Level, but
right.
We'll be going to market through Extendly. Okay.
Awesome.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. All right. So I think we're about a couple weeks away, but you'll like, and here's the cool thing, by the way, we're not only doing it for you, we're doing it in a way that you could roll it out to your clients as well. So it becomes another money maker for you.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you're in Austin. Do you have any masterminds or anything in Austin that we can attend if we're close by?
Nick, make sure you connect with me, and let's if we get enough people, we can always do something like that.
Awesome.
We can even do it in Dallas. We do it there, we do it here, wherever. It might be more fun down here. All right.
We can do both.
All right. I got to run. Jenna, thanks for being here. Nick, thanks for being here. Congratulations to both of you. And we're here for you. All right. Ping me anytime. You could just hashtag my name in the Facebook group. It might take me a day or so to get back to it because I try to limit my social media, but I'm there for you. If you got a question, I'm there for you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
You betcha. See you later, both. Go back and watch the replays if you missed any of them.
I will.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the gohighlevel.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for High Level. Just visit the gohighlevel.com.